believe this. Can you pull that back? Legs. No kidding. Grab my legs.
Oh, I thought you said the lights.
Okay, tip me up a bit.
Tip you up like this?
No.
You want me to tip you down? Yeah. Like this?
I'm good. Okay.
We're Chris and Sandra. In 2022, we bought a boat we named Thataway. On a foggy May morning, we said goodbye to Port Dover and headed down Lake Erie through the Welland Canal and on to Lake Ontario. We had a summer of fun boat projects and explored Lake Ontario and the famous Canadian Heritage Canal System, the Trent Severn Waterway. We met some great people and saw amazing sights in beautiful Ontario. We've got plans to overhaul the interior of Thataway in the spring, so join two not-so-young kids as we dive headfirst into our 2023 adventure.
Continue on Ontario 6 south for 1 kilometer.
So today's the big day, or the day before the big day. The survey's tomorrow. And here we are on the boat at Port Dover Marina. And we're trying to get all our stuff up. We don't have any power today. The marina's still closed for the winter, so we've got flashlights and a whole bunch of other things. I'm just going to go around the boat a little bit here. So there'll be a name change at some point. What do you think, Chris? Happy?
There's a lot to look at. You can see where the varnish is starting to
come
fade off. Like it needs to be redone in places.
Yeah, I noticed that on the swim.
It's almost like it's cracked off. Whatever.
A little bit windy today and cold, but above zero. And it's been above zero for the last 5 or 6 days, both day and night, which means the survey can happen.
So, in theory, you could move this whole engine about a foot.
Is that enough room?
Oh yeah, I think a foot would do it.
Because you'd have to cut this out, right? And then move this that way.
You would.
And that implies that you're going to have to move... Is this a filter of some kind?
I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, it is. It's a big one. I'm guessing it's water. Because you thought that was the raw water intake?
I think it is. Oh boy. And it would be... Oh, unfortunately that sounds empty.
You think that's the fuel tank?
Yeah, I think we're going to spend a fortune on a refill. Oh, hang on. Does that look full? Can you see a line in there? Oh, he's got tape on it. It's halfway up. Look at the green tape. 80?
80.
Now this wiring sucks. That's got to be redone.
We're trying to do an inventory of what's on the boat so that when the purchase goes through we know where we're at. And we've just checked the flares and they are...
Expired.
How expired?
This box. A decade?
Oh, a decade. Right, so we need to put that on the list.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a flare gun. For a minute there I thought they had kids on board. Okay, careful. That could be dangerous.
Okay, so I'm confirming that it's empty.
So there were flares. What was the location? Oh, so V-berth.
Yeah, V-berth.
Starboard?
Starboard shelf. All of his stuff is there.
And it was a Olin, you said?
Okay, so to start, there's a box of Olin flares, 4 expired.
Yeah.
And then there's
A 3-pack, right?
a 6-pack of an Olin flare gun with a 6-pack. And the manufacturing date was 2018.
Okay, is that it for the flares?
And then there's a small vessel safety. You know how in the kayak we always have a line, a whistle?
Right.
That's what this is.
Okay.
I've taken pictures of all three.
Okay.
I think it would be pretty straightforward.
All right. So we've had, I don't know, since about 10:30 till, what is it, 4:30?
4 o'clock.
With a little bit of a break for lunch. Chris's brother and our sister-in-law, Andrew and Nancy, came down, and Andrew and Chris fangirled all over the motor, which was exciting. We went over the boat in quite a bit of detail today and took inventory. I don't know, there's kind of makes it real.
Yeah, it all looks good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just going to turn the camera here because we're on Lake Erie. We're in a place called Port Dover, which is where the boat is. And we're on the hard right now because it's just coming out of winter here in Canada. There's quite a lovely area here. So if the boat sale goes through, we'll probably spend a few weeks here getting it ready to go, bring it back to the GTA or somewhere close to it. And I've got Chris not paying attention to the assignment here at hand.
I'm right here.
Doing work. Yeah, so we're actually quite excited. Kind of makes it real. We both have varying degrees of trepidation about it. Chris has 0. I have a little. But the boat is really nice. It's in good shape, we think. And we'll know more tomorrow, but we've kind of gone over it and taken a look at everything. One of the things we're kind of looking at longer term, if we move the boat back towards Toronto, is that we have to go through the Welland Canal, which is kind of a big deal. It's one of the bigger canals of its kind in the world, and that's kind of exciting, and another new adventure. Anyway, we're gonna finish up here for the day and lock up the boat and get out of the boatyard and go have a nice dinner and evening with Andrew and Nancy where we're staying near London, and we'll be back tomorrow. So it's been kind of nice. Been a good day.
See, what they do sometimes to fix these is they'll fix them, but they put the C-tack down, which looks like teak, but it's plastic that comes in. They cut it, and it covers up. Then you don't have to be as nice fixing the flaws.
Right. So there's a wet spot right there.
Here's a really wet spot here.
And that also makes sense because it's right by the...
Well, that might be a chunk iron down there for this.
Oh, and that would give it that reading?
Yeah, because it picks iron. It doesn't determine water or metal, puts it right off. Now, your anchor here needs...
Murray found a number of things that needed attention on the boat, 8 of which needed to be addressed before we could insure the boat. So there'll be more about those 8 items coming up in future episodes.
So we just finished the marine survey. We had Murray Willits from, I think, Sarnia came this morning, and he was here for the last 4 hours, and we went over the boat. I saw a lot of things that wouldn't have occurred to me. I think generally things look good. There's some moisture in the decks, although I don't think there's anything soft, so that's good. So there'd be some repair work on the decks, and a few things in the engine compartment. One of the exhaust lines from the generator, I think, is cracked, which wouldn't be good given that that's carbon monoxide. And one of the wastewater lines is also cracked, which that would be a smell issue. He seemed generally happy with everything he saw otherwise.
He was actually he was really good. He had lots of stories to tell because he's been doing this for about 20 years.
Yeah, pretty funny guy.
So pretty funny. And we got the sense that he was looking out for us, which is always a worry when you go into a market where everybody knows each other. But
his comment was, yeah, he'd buy the boat, but he wouldn't
pay as much
as we're paying. But
he admitted that he's a bargain hunter.
I got all the rest of the stuff at home. I didn't know what to do. I was using the snow hours and working back and stuff. As long as everything goes into sea trial, and every time we launch that boat, everything works perfectly.
Yeah. I want to kind of watch
I'll be more than happy to show you everything. Just kind of wait up the road.
And I noticed you've got 3 battery banks in there.
Yeah.
So the big one's for the bow thruster?
Yeah, the bow thruster runs off the start battery.
Okay, so there were 2, are there 2?
Spare battery in the back, a big brand new battery.
Winter. Vincent doesn't want to give it up.
Live.
You see it's pumping?
Not yet.
Yeah, it's coming. I see green. Yeah.
Cold. No. Nice.
Thresher's working.
In a trawler, you got to be thinking ahead. Really.
Because you've only got 1 speed.
Well, not only that, it reacts slowly. I mean, this thing weighs a ton. You throw it in reverse and it doesn't go screech. It just, okay, I'll slow down. You get used to it.
Holy smokes. That's chilly.
You know, you don't actually have to stand up here.
No, I know.
You want my hat?
No, I've got a hat on. I'm just going to put it up.
I was hoping she'd say I wanted it, and I'd let her drive my girl.
You were hoping I would say what?
Sorry?
You were hoping I'd say what?
Yeah, you wanted to stay up here. And I go downstairs.
How fast can you get this boat to go?
I don't know, I've never tried. Because generally speaking, if you push it hard, the bow will start digging in. So I never bothered. Jesus, that's cold. Hang on. You should probably sit down.
Yeah, I'm going to.
You okay?
Yeah. Like I said,
There's cushions and everything for that.
Probably not the best first ride for me, but
now that thruster's on a timer.
Yeah.
It'll shut itself off, or you can shut it off. Okay. So before you go to maneuver, you better look down and make sure that light's on. Yeah. I've had this thing in 8-footers coming out here, and they were just tall and steep. It doesn't care. You got to handle it right, because if they come on your side, We're gonna roll and shit.
Yeah, I'm not just in trouble.
I don't think you'd be in any trouble, but it sure would be uncomfortable. I've hit waves and it's thrown me halfway across the fly bridge. The boat doesn't care. It just keeps chugging along. Yeah, those seats flop up and down because there's compartments under them. They're supposed to be sat on, not hung on to. Oh my God. I can't believe I've been doing this for 46 years. Lake Erie is a nasty place.
What's that, sorry?
Lake Erie is a nasty place. Now we're going to get rolled trying to go in there. You hang on.
Yeah, not happy about it, but
You okay?
yeah, I'll be all right.
If I'd have known it was this cold out here, you know where I wouldn't be?
Right here.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to go up, then turn so we don't roll too badly.
Okay.
Here we go. I was going to put the whole top up, and then I read what the wind was going to be, so I didn't bother.
Yeah, that would have been.
Might have been sailing then.
My hands are cold.
My face is frozen. I didn't realize I was such a wussy. You might have just put your wife off boat and period.
You know, it's probably a really good thing that it was the rough first go, because now I know.
The problem with all trawlers is they can't outrun weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to be good enough, and it has to be tough.
I might walk back.
Once we turned up Black Creek, the water was more protected and we were off the rough patch of Lake Erie. In retrospect, we should never have been talked into that sea trial on that day. 36 knots of wind gusts was just way too much for our comfort level. The battery on the camera ran out soon after this, so I don't have any more footage of that day, but we did close on the boat. And on April 29th, we took possession. Our next episode will be about our first couple weeks on the boat. So we hope to have you tune in then. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment. See you next time.